difficulty of the gun. Yo, how's it going, Pillow? Big P in the house. Hey, that's a good name, Big P in the house. Well, Pillow, it's a good day that you came to visit me today. Pretty much labor bill here in Argentina. There are incidents outside. People are protesting. So great, great. So for today, everyone visited me. First Patrick and District, then Flying Energies, and now you, Pillow. How have you been, Pillow? Hope you never told me how the problem with your associate ended. In that sense, could you solve the debts that
Did you
were
speak to
there?
Makef about the broken relics?
A protest. Yeah. They are protesting outside. What's up? Well, basically like this. We have the labor laws
I will visit
of
him
the
later.
Soviet Union
Perhaps he
from
will take your
the
words to heart if he
70s,
hears them from both
pretty
of us.
much, in which imagine that you get a flu, right? Pillow, you get a flu, and you can stop going to work and still get 100% of your salary. So that causes that unions that are mafias here, just like in with the revolution of the proletariat, I guess, back back in World War II. What's wrong with that? That unions abuse this, and you get, for example, teachers over at the school that one stops coming to work, or over at a factory they stop going to their workplace, right? And nothing happens. The medic is the doctor. Sorry, the doctor is also like a mafious, corrupt individual with the union, and we get that the people doesn't come to work. The company has to hire another person. The other person does the same, and we get like companies get like to pay four salaries until they can find like one people who is actually working, and we have people all over the country with medical license for years and years and years, getting 100% of the salary, and basically that has caused 7 bankruptcies of the state, things like that. District, how are you doing? Welcome back. I sent you a video with Trump on Obama saying the stuff about the aliens. Make sure to watch it. Yeah. That will make me uh, that will make me feel a bit better. So basically, that's the thing, Pillow. And outside, they are like attacking the police officers with rocks. It's funny. Yeah, no, absolutely disgusting that he comes back to talk about aliens after he destroyed society, pretty much. Oh, you still debate? No. I was with Pillow. Pillow just arrived. I was commenting him about the protests outside. Well, what's wrong with that, Pillow? How is it in Poland and in Europe, guys? If in Europe, in Poland or in Romania, I'm not are fighting. No. I know, Pillow. No worries, no worries. I was just telling you how is it in Europe, in Romania and in Poland. If you don't go to work for some days, do you still get 100%? No. Here, because here they were trying to set it like to the Europe. In the United States, you get zero. If you don't go to work, you get zero. You get fucking zero, as it should be. But to avoid this corruption that I'm describing, uh, in Europe it's like it depends on the country. Yeah, it depends. Here they are doing a comparison, and here they try to lower it to 75%, and they already had to remove the article. So they are trying to just pass the bill, uh, however they can. In here you get paid. Yeah, but the percentage is the thing. Here you also wanted to get paid, but the percentage is the thing. Uh, in that sense.
Thank you.
In
It
that
would have
sense.
been disastrous
Full
without someone
wage,
to
you
possess
get
this.
100%. like us, like it's here, full wage, and if but the employer can fire you without a punishment. That's well, that's the thing. Well, that's the thing. Here, the employer cannot do that. If the employer does that, they have to pay one salary per each year of it plus a psychological trouble and etc. It can basically, unless a doctor signed it, well, that uh, here basically it can a single labor they cannot. Okay, a single labor law um, trial judgment process, a single one, a single case can literally like bankrupt the whole company. It doesn't matter how big it is because of how socialist our judges are. So that's what we are trying to slowly change, and there are
What am
protests
I?
outside. They had to remove that
Reinforces
article,
my enthusiasm for all that
but
is
well, the
left to
rest
do.
of the bill seems to be passed. If they are like at the Senate debating, and as they do that outside, we got spider monkeys climbing the police officers. They erected like a barrier, pretty much, and they are like shooting water with gas to 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 disperse them. I guess I don't know if by now the motorized
I look forward
police
to hearing
corps
you.
are also shooting rubber
Conan
bullets to
is
them
right.
or whatever.
You have
But
done much
basically,
to be
that
commended for,
it's the slow
Outsider.
process of
The
getting out
three have taken notice of the progress the initiative has gained.
Soviet
They
Union
know who deserves
laws
the
from
credit for this accomplishment.
1940, basically. How are they shooting gas with water? Basically, the water is like embedded with also rubber bullets are rubber bullets excessive pillow. They throw a Molotov bomb last week. They threw a Molotov bomb. No, not threw a Molotov bomb. They did like a an improvised Molotov bomb. How are they not going to shoot them
Then
rubber
you should
bullets?
collect the fruits of your labor.
There
You
is
have granted
no
the audience you
there
seek,
is no
and
them.
I am
Eh?
proud to have helped you earn
We're
it.
not trans.
Whatever knowledge you
No,
pursue, I hope you
I
find it.
never said.
May the words of the three
They
guide you to
threw.
your victory.
There is also. Well, I see you came for the. So they threw a Molotov bomb pillow. How are they not going to? How is a rubber bullet? How is a rubber bullet excessive against a Molotov bomb and rocks? They throw rocks. They throw rocks with and here and here you are being no, it was a group of people, a group of armed people. Well, armed. They like bring some sticks, they destroy the street, and they grab and they grab rocks and they throw them at the police. How are they not going to shoot rubber bullets? How would you disperse them, Pillow? Are they openly organized with hierarchy? Yeah, 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 yeah. They are Trotskyists basically. They support Trotsky basically. They are like left wing groups like Antifa and all of that shit. They want to revive Trotsky basically. What's the name? There was Antifa. There was local ones. Then like in English would be workers classist fighting current something like that. XD Antifa, yes, they are Antifa. Yes, they brought Palestinian flags. Oh my gosh, yeah, they brought Palestinian flags as well. Pillow Trotskyists, yes. Pillow, I'm not exaggerating. No, you got it wrong. The Antifa group is one, and the local Argentine Trotskyist one. They are like separated. They are like two different groups. They just converge to to to, to destroy the government, pretty much. Sure you are. Yes. You can see them. You put over at YouTube. um, any of the local news channels, you just put A24, and that one is one local news channel covering it. They are live covering it. You can see the flags. What does it have to do, a Palestinian flag, with a labor law trying to modernize Argentine laws over at the end of the world here in Antarctica? What does it have to do? It's so evidently, uh, and the other ones are Trotskyists. Oppression. What does it have to do? What's the connection if it's not a mafia? Not only Trotsky, there are some that want to revive they want to revive. Where besides Trotsky, they love they want to revive the
It is
doctrine
time. The three
of
have asked
the
you to
Soviet
appear before
Union
them.
of
Your actions have left an impression, a rare achievement. They are waiting for you now.
besides, but the one that they love the most is Trotsky. They love some others, but the one that they love the most is Trotsky. Here, the communists, basically. There are another ones that basically is like this. They call them social organizations. So what did they do before the government of the big bad Malay here? So the state, they had control of the state, and the social organizations were like in both sides of the negotiation table. So they control the state, they took money from our taxes, and they gave them to the social organizations. And the social organizations, instead of distributing it to people, kept the money that they had stolen from our taxes, as they also had control of the state, and they kept them for themselves, as the poor population was still poor. And they kept voting because some of them got them, the ones that were also associated. So a long chain of corruption. So what happened? 2 years ago, Milei won the vote. He also won the midterms 3 months ago, pretty much, in November. And he eliminated all of that chain of corruption. And now, of course, the Trotskyists are quite altered, let's say. So they are fabricating Molotov bombs,
It would be best if you
bringing
went alone.
flags
There are some questions I have yet to resolve
with the
with the
hammer and the
three.
scythe of the Soviet Union.
When the
It's
eternal
it's abs- it's
empire threatened
absolutely
the galaxy, your presence in
it's
the
absolutely
alliance was
incredible. So they are
indispensable.
fighting the police
But much has
outside
changed.
here at the capital,
The outsiders'
basically,
wars no longer concern
like that.
us.
I just hope the
We have
police
our own struggles.
learns a bit
The
from
three
the
want to
United
know why I
States.
do
It
not
eventually
return
learns a
and
bit from the
continue my
United States.
duties as a
So yes,
mercenary.
Pillow, they love Trotsky. This conversation has lost all of
The
its
only thing
charm
I
to
want
me.
to review
Let's
is
move
fulfilled my
on.
vision for the first
Why? Don't you
enclave.
want to talk about how
That
the
was the last of
leftists
my
here
visions that had been
love
deciphered by my
Trotsky?
interpreter, and the first
They are
step toward
Trotskyists.
acting on
You,
my
you,
own
you
decisions.
believe it or not,
And a
it's like
farce who
that. They want
chooses
to
to
take the
remain with
means of
outsiders
production, like
is a farce who
like
is forever
in
looked
the
upon with
40s.
doubt.
In I don't know what's. It's pretty much that. It's pretty much that. But well, Philip, I will digress of talking about it if it bores. I thought it was
It was a
going to
simple
entertain
choice.
you.
You have given me the opportunity to lead,
You can Google the
to
groups.
help others
That I'm
face
not lying that they
uncertainty.
are
That is a
Trotskyists.
greater purpose than
They
I
are
ever found as
Trotskyists.
a mystic.
They love him, pretty much.
I have kept you
They have
company.
his face on the
The three will
flags
be wondering what
here.
has delayed
I don't know
you.
if it's like that in the rest of them. And then you have the globalists from Antifa that also attack Chile and etc. with the student protests and etc. Those are the classics. But yeah, by the way, they are also delinquent. When are you gonna play RimWorld? It's that surviving one with the simple graphics. The only way I would play that would be out if one of one of you would subscribe for me to analyze it. But it's a survival game, I think. So I would start criticizing it so much that that I probably would only say negative things, I guess. I don't like survival games in general. It's the one that you manage like the resources of a colony and create a base as aliens or something. What? As the aliens or something invade your base. I got a capitalist ad. Ah, yes, 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 yes. I got a capitalist ad. Ah, he
Outsider,
cannot.
do
Tell
you
me when it's.
understand the importance of this meeting?
From everything I've heard,
Tell me when you are
this
back.
honor is rare for my kind.
How is that
I'm
game
grateful.
capitalist? I'm
Your
sorry, are you.
insight does you credit. I
What?
believe you are worthy of the
Which
knowledge we
game?
plan to
No,
share.
it's not survival.
There
It's
has
a
been
strategy.
a
The
vision.
capitalist ad
Its
is
contents
because
are
Twitch
disturbing.
just
Life will be reshaped.
uses them. I know, Pillow,
Scales
do not insult, I
unbalanced.
told you.
A wave of
I got an
change
academic
rises
merit
and falls
scholarship. I'm
beyond
very,
the reach
very
of Darth
intelligent.
Malgus.
And
It's a
as he
strategy. Yeah, no,
dreams,
but it's
he
like
awakens a
managing a
great
colony.
power,
There's no fighting.
one that will tear the galaxy
Almost
apart.
no fighting. There's no combat mechanics. There's no combat system with mechanics.
If you know all that, you must
Pillow.
know a way to help me stop Malgus.
It is not so simple.
I would only
Should
play a
one of
survival
man's
game like that
perish,
only
this
if someone
catastrophe will
subscribed for me to play
transpire
it.
more
You
quickly.
clearly did get a degree game rage bait there. Nah, I know that you
Haven't you
rage
got
bait.
lots of visions of disasters?
But why
The
would you
Nexus
want
ones are
that one
different.
You
specifically?
are familiar with the visions
Why would you want
experienced
that
by
one
our
specifically? And
mystics.
do not
The
insult.
role
I
these
know it's your
entities
rage bait
play.
or whatever, but do
What
not
your
insult.
mystics
You
see
can
is
rage
very
bait
important
other
to your
channels,
people.
not mine. Not
Together,
mine. No, don't
this
rage
society
bait here.
rules. Everything relies on
Especially not with
decisions.
insults.
And from these revelations, the interpreters show us the path.
I
The
have
decisions we
600
must make
hours in it,
to preserve
and
our
you want
home,
me to play
our
it
way
just
of
because of
life.
that? No, tell me
But
why
in
the
this
game
vision,
is
we
interesting for you
see no
objectively.
outcome. There is nothing to guide us. The interpreters are united in its meaning.
The three,
Are you
the
counter
Voss,
rage baiting me?
we can do nothing.
No, Pillow, you know
We
I
are
speak in
powerless.
utmost honesty.
A
What
shrouded
would be so
prophecy will
interesting about
come to
that game?
pass.
Look up a
The
guide
foundations
or
will be
something.
shaken.
No,
The pillars
if it's your
raised.
suggestion to
The
play that
chaos
one, not
is
mine.
unavoidable. But
I'm bad at
whatever is to come
conveying
from this,
that.
it is you
Well,
who will choose the fate
no,
of
I
this
know the game.
world.
I
Our
watched some
destiny is in
people
the
play it.
hands of an
I watched it,
outsider. Do you
and
see
it's
why
like
we shield our people from this?
managing
Calm your fears.
a
I will do
colony in
everything in my
space,
power to protect
but
Malgus.
there's almost
You see,
no
and
abstract
you
complexity of
make
the
that
gameplay
promise
mechanics.
gladly.
It's
A
like
grand assurance. We will hope it amounts to more than
surviving
that.
there in the
Whatever
colony.
part you play
It
in
has that
this,
component of
enemy
survival,
or ally, none
and
of it will happen without
it's
you.
not like Age of
You
Empires, for
must be
example.
ready.
I like things like Age of Empires. How so at surviving? Well, because there's no component of base building, there's no component of matches of 20 minutes, for example, like Age of Empires or StarCraft, and that makes the genre lean much more towards
We will be
managing
waiting.
rather than the abstract complexity of a combat system of the real-time strategy genre. Instead of real-time strategy, it's more managing, and that and that causes uh, and that causes the abstract complexity of the gameplay mechanics to be lower in that sense, because fighting isn't the main component of it. What makes it so important to have a match? You have a combat system. Yeah, but I've seen it. It's like just like the aliens or the mobs in general getting to your base. That's a component much more similar to tower defense, which I do like, but without the components of tower defense, because the emphasis is put on the resources. So the genre classification gravitates more towards managing rather than real-time strategy combat or tower defense combat. It's an abstraction from the combat. Not quite, but how's the combat system then? How's the combat system? What's the complexity of the combat system that is? You like all managing games, I see, because all of the ones that you told me that you like playing were all like managing resources rather than direct combat in that sense. You control the pawns. You control pawns. Okay. Okay. And do they have a skill tree? For example, any idiot can play at easy. See, that's my problem with games. That's my problem with those kinds of indie games. That precisely any idiot can play it easy. I like hard games. I like games that require high APM, real Sigma. That's such a shitty classification, classifying people by that. At harder, I've done much worse things. If that's the way of, if we're going to classify people by how hard they play their games, I am like the king of humanity. Real intellectuals play at normal difficulty, not something. Pillow, did you watch my last stream? Did you watch my last? Did you watch my last stream in which I did a modded version of Bale on Nightmare difficulty for 4 hours? Watch last week's stream that is still up. 4 hours, the boss. There are AIs that control the way how your run goes. You have to juggle between raids and insects. Okay. In that sense, demons. Okay, no, I get it all. But watch ChatGPT wants to. Okay. So the game is like that. Okay, so the game is like that. So the AI wants to kill you and sends you all of those mobs. Okay, I get it. Well, there's the survival aspect that I was mentioning, managing the resources precisely. But the point is that it's putting pressure on you so that you fail to make your pawns want to work for yourself. Okay. The enemies will kill you. Okay, well, no. I can assure you that I played. You have to fight right.
We're ready.
You're sure?
As sure as I've ever been.
I can assure you that I played build right. You have to fight right and build right. Okay. But the survival component demands a lower APM. Accommodate right. Be prepared.
Toward a galaxy where everyone is in their rightful place. Where we have everything we deserve. But it is still just beyond our reach. It's time to seize it.
I can assure you, Pillow, that I played much harder games than that. I could make you a list of the crazy games that I played. So if we are going to measure people by that difficulty, I am the king. But if you want to fight and have shit free, just play harder fight. No, not those, because those still require low APM. How can you know? Because I've played games that go beyond difficulty.
I don't want anyone blaming me when you don't wait.
Pillow, I know that if you haven't, how can you? Because I played things that were programmed in a way that was so brutal that you cannot imagine. The thing is that you don't watch the videos of the channel. You have to watch the videos of the YouTube channel. Ain't no party like a Diddy party. Have you watched any video of the YouTube channel, Pillow? The things that I have played, Melee wasn't. No, he wasn't. He wasn't. He was not probably even more when that happened. Or if he was studying economy. Rimworld, no. Pillow, I'll give you really hard games that I've beaten. Forza Motorsport 2, The Last Race, which is the 40 laps Sebring endurance race. can take up to 8 hours easily, and I beat that one on the highest difficulty. Forza Horizon 1. Forza Horizon 1, the first one, has such a nasty rubber banding artificial intelligence for the other cars that no matter how good you drive, some races are 0.5% possible, I would say. Forza Motorsports! Yeah, 2. Forza Motorsport 2, the last race. Google the last race. The 40 laps prototype Severin race. But then, Forza Horizon 1 is beyond anything I could tell you. Are you insulting my intelligence? No, I have another. I have more. I beat every single race in Forza Horizon 1 on gold difficulty. Not only that, I can keep going. I did the Westminster Catacombs 4-man raid in Hellgate London solo. All of these levels that I'm talking to you are beyond 5 hours of length. I beat Cromorax the Invincible in Borderlands 1 solo as a sniper, not using the OP class. I can keep going. I beat Battletoads from the Super Nintendo if you want to go a bit more retro. Battletoads in Battle Maniacs. I can keep going. Who cares about Borderlands? Well, I'm naming you so many. I did here in Star Wars. What's that? I did in Star Wars The Old Republic this last year. You can Google all of the bots. Then I will. The thing is that you don't watch the bots of the channel, of the YouTube videos, the crazy stuff that I do. In Star Wars The Old Republic here, I did Master Mode, Knights of the Fallen Empire, and Eternal Throne solo when it's the 4-man content. Who cares about Borderlands? Cromorax the Invincible is the first raid boss for 4 people. The same with Hellgate London for 4 people, and I soloed it. One person doing the damage output and positioning and everything of 4 people. That's why you should care about Borderlands and Hellgate London. Then I can keep going.
Yeah, you're definitely the kind that likes to
In the very same here over at Twitch, you don't even need to go to YouTube. I did the 80 laps, so I can keep going. I did the 80 laps Scud race endurance with rubber banding AI. You can just click on the videos tab here over at Twitch, or no. You can also watch it over at YouTube so you see the comments of the Japanese. It's not a strategic game. Well, I can keep going. I finished Warcraft 3, the original version on hard difficulty. I beat all From Software games. The APM required in those is still lower than the things that I'm mentioning. The APM required is much lower. No boss from Dark Souls takes 5 to 8 hours, the boss fight. None of them. All of the races that I'm mentioning simulate real physics and things. I beat I can keep going. Warcraft 3, no Dark Souls player can even begin to imagine how difficult it is to beat Warcraft 3, the original version, not reforged, because there they lowered the AI, on hard difficulty. I can beat the AI in Age of Empires on a skirmish. I beat the entirety of Neo. Okay, it's a feat. I don't take that from you. I don't like those kinds of games because they are way too slow precisely and the APM is slow. Try beating Warcraft 3, the original version on hard difficulty, then you tell me how much it will take you precisely. I beat all of StarCraft 2 on the highest difficulty as well. Precisely. I play all my games on hard difficulty first try. I don't know which. There are so many that I will lose count. I beat the final level of Crackdown 1, which is brutal because it's clearing a whole building on the highest difficulty as well. So there's a point here in Star Wars The Old Republic. I did the final boss solo when it requires 4 people on master mode. But not only that, besides that, I did it without understanding some of the mechanics even. I beat Might and Magic 3 on the hardest difficulty as Inferno against 7 Queen AI. But still, all of those games, well, they are all good accomplishments. But still, all of those games are either turn-based or with slow APM requirement. All of the ones that I mentioned to you require high APM. So at least, I'm not taking credit from you, but at least also recognize the credit I also have in beating my own games, pretty much. As for the rest, you can... Bro, I don't play card games. They fry... No. Why would a card game fry your brain, Philo? And it's a simulation at that point, Forza Horizon and Motorsport, the first ones. Now they make them easy, but the older ones are like this. The one I need to challenge, yes, it's greed. Why do you say they fry that racing games fry your brain? Why do you say that racing games fry your brain? And real-time strategy, I also named real-time strategy. Pretty much regarding that. You want something more? I beat the Harvester in Dragon Age Origins. If I start remembering all of the crazy stuff that I did, Google the Harvester on the highest difficulty of Dragon Age Origins. That boss fight, I'm sure it's like Baldur's Gate. I would love to see how many people who play Baldur's Gate. I beat Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, Throne of Bald difficult, Legacy of Bald difficulty, first run without understanding them. But above them all, the Harvester on Dragon Age Origins, on the highest difficulty, the expansion boss was literally designed to not be completed. Name some normal game, not 1990 Simulator. I bet you didn't play that. No, of course I will not play that prostitution. The biggest prostitution. If I were Belgian, I would feel bad about myself regarding that game. The biggest prostitution in the history of gaming. I will never play Baldur's Gate 3. Actually, yes, Philo. I have had this debate with so many people from all nationalities of Europe. The biggest prostitution as the... I even did a special... I even did a special documentary about it. How David Walgrave, the producer, of course, why specifically Belgian? Because the studio is Belgian, precisely. I would feel bad about having Larian Studios in my country. Vlad, I don't know what Gacha, Goon Game, I don't know what the fuck that modern language is. I don't care. I would probably bombard all of those stupid languages that they now invent words. People should need to learn to speak properly, like with British teachers back in the previous century, 100 years ago. We were fine. We were perfectly fine. No, let's not lose sight of the difficulty of the game's conversation. No. Dragon Age Origins is not from 1990. It's from 2008, Pilo. And the expansion, I think it's from 2009. The Awakening expansion, so it's not 1990, it's 2009. Gacha is Japanese. And why not call it Japan? Blood can even imagine hentai games. And why? And what difficulty? Closer to 1990 than 2027. But we're in 2026 so far. But these are classics. These are exquisite classic Dragon Age Origins, people. If you haven't played Dragon Age Origins, the Harvester final boss that will take you days upon days, you are missing out on so much. You need to endure the pain of the Harvester. It's a life experience. Google the Harvester, people, on highest difficulty. It literally, I finished it with 1 HP because it was calculated for that. Dragon Age Origins and, well, Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, the fathers of the classic RPG genre, the father of the classic RPG genre, Baldur's Gate 1, compared to the prostitution of Larian Studios of Baldur's Gate 3. I did a documentary on these people. The Harvester, which nobody ever heard of. No, trust me that the ones who faced the Harvester on the highest difficulty, they can never forget about him. They can never forget about the Harvester. They can never forget about the Harvester. It is beyond anything you can imagine, the Harvester. And in the case of no way the level of butthurt, the sheer level, no one can match the Harvester of Dragon Age Origins Awakening. Only the original Baldur's Gate, I would say, or Baldur's Gate, the expansion that they did with the final demon in Siege of Dragonspear. Yes, it's beyond good and evil, the sheer level of the Harvester. By Friedrich Nietzsche. No, that one caused a lot of pain to humanity, that we don't deny, but since you wanted to talk about games, I wanted to name that. No. Patrick, if you are watching this as a YouTube bot, yes, the Harvester is the greatest pain in all of the universe. You haven't heard about the Harvester, Pilu. That's why we don't get real games nowadays, because we don't get things like the Harvester. The Harvester, which nobody ever heard. Trust me that the people who played it heard about him. Other examples: Warcraft 3, the original version, as I said, on the hardest difficulty. StarCraft 2 on ultra difficult. I thought they knew. Also, no, we're talking about games. We're talking about games. Also, see, no, we're talking about games, Philo. In terms of games, none of the ones that you mentioned from software can meet the Harvest. Nah, Larian Studios is no. Larian Studios is a topic that gets me fired up. As they prostituted the legendary legacy of the father of all RPG games, turning the legendary real-time with pause combat into fully turn-based, degrading the legendary vision of David Brevik, of the original designer of Diablo 1, in which he turned down the internal clock down to 0 to finally create real-time combat, and in the case of Baldur's Gate, mixed with the classic Dungeons & Dragons 3.5 rule set, desecrating this sacred system to make Divinity Original Sin 3, because Baldur's Gate 3 is Divinity Original Sin 3, by a bunch of truly wokes, who had no dignity whatsoever to prostitute the legacy of the fact. No developer who played Baldur's Gate 1, which should be mandatory to make a Dungeons and Dragons game, no developer who tried the legendary sacred system of real-time with pause of adapting Dungeons and Dragons 3.5 would ever participate in the sacrilege of developing Baldur's Gate 3. That is the thing, people. But it's true, Larry. Dude, just don't engage. No, pirate it if you don't want to. No, I would never pirate that filth. I would never touch that filth. I played. Look, Pillow. Just no. Hang on. One detail. It's not that I'm criticizing without knowing the combat system. I beat Divinity Original Sin 1. It's not filth. Hang on. I beat Divinity Original Sin 1 on the highest difficulty. You can just be maiden lords, boyfriend. Well, what? See, that's the problem. People don't play it for the complexity of the combat system. They play it for all of that shit of role playing. Instead, nobody forces. No, no, Pillow. It's not like that. It's not like that. It's not like that. It's that they desecrated a legendary system. It's a legendary system that they desecrated. They desecrated a legendary system. They desecrated a legendary system. Enjoy it. No, no. When you do enjoy it, no. No, no. That's simple mindedness. That's simple mindedness. That's pure ignorance. That's pure ignorance right there. No amount of sex can change the fact of how shitty and a desecrating aspect of existence Baldur's Gate 3 has been. No, no, nothing can say. No amount. You are talking about it as if it was a religion, like they spat on the. It is. It's a sacrilege. It is a
There they
sacrilege.
are.
It is a sacrilege. It is a sacrilege. Maybe I'm a bit
What do you think? How do you want to play this?
passionate about the topic. I'm passionate about the topic, especially that I'm very passionate about the topic. I admit it, but it is a sad, sad chapter of our industry because we didn't get the real Baldur's Gate
You really
3,
think
which is
outside
actually
the box?
Pathfinder. And sadly, I must inform you, people, that the real inheritor of Baldur's Gate 2. Sadly, I know that this will make you support Baldur's Gate 3 more. It was a Russian production, and it's Pathfinder. Pathfinder Kingmaker is the real inheritor of Baldur's Gate 2. We missed a huge opportunity because Pathfinder doesn't have the license of Baldur's Gate, and we lost a lot of art there, a lot of everything lost in there. As for other inheritors,
Nice
I could
trick.
name Dragonage Origins, Knights of the
Still
Old
up, Pipe
Republic, even
Rhino?
Drakens and
We are
one
the
that I
goods
played.
here.
So many games with
Come
the
on!
exquisite real time with post combat system 3.5 Dungeons and Dragons, the adaptations, and the real license to be wasted like that is that's something that is a topic that I am passionate about. I mentioned it. Several times. It's one of the saddest chapters of the gaming industry in that sense. Biga, how do you expect me to even enjoy, even try to enjoy that the secret? I will never support anything to do with the matter. I bet the developers of Pathfinder don't have anything to do with all of that. But well, I could get the point of you not playing it in your specific case, in that sense. But well, I have to be honest with you. Sadly, Pathfinder, well, not sadly, it was developed like that. So pretty much, is a true inheritor of its sad, and I say this with that sadness. They pay taxes to have this, Mongolians. I don't think anyone here is a Mongol. Is a Mongolian? No, they are not Mongolians. I think they were in Moscow. I think. Let me guess. You are going to now burn any Pathfinder tabletop game. Well, I don't blame you. It's in your case understandable. But in the case of Baldur's Gate 3, going back to Baldur's Gate 3, they will pay taxes. They will pay the taxes of the video game will go to. Okay. Okay. Remember that you told me that you weren't a Russophobe because of that. Remember that you told me you weren't a Russophobe. Pillow. Somehow. In that sense, they pay the taxes. They pay the taxes to the Mongolians. I do not expect you to play the game. I never said that. Listen, you hate the woke. No, no, no. I can understand if you don't want to play the game. I, I have to address the objective reality that the inheritor of Baldur's Gate is Pathfinder, and it was developed by Old Cat Games, which is Russian. I hate the face to Praise Love New Ending. She said, "Yeah, no, I know it's the state. I know, and I'm also suffering the consequences of the Soviet Union, in that sense, with the labor laws and everything, with the Trotskyists outside confronting the police right now." I have Trotskyists right now outside. Even if you don't believe they are Trotskyists, they like put his face on the flag.
Everybody good?
So imagine if I also don't
Thanks.
don't like it. Imagine if I also don't like it. Imagine if I also don't like it.
Be on your guard.
Marx was German. Deal with it. And I am also against the Nazi regime. Precisely. Deal with it. Precisely against. I mean against relativism. I am with Thomas Aquinas and the medieval Catholic Church, I guess, even if I'm an atheist. But if I had to pick a system, I would establish a British monarchy or something like that. By the way, the monarchy subreddit increased in numbers that you said that no one supported the system.
Our expectations for you.
Who did more evil? Relativism. In general, it doesn't matter what form it took, really. Larian Studio for Immanuel Kant. Oof, great question. No, I need to be an adult and responsible individual and say that Immanuel Kant did cost more. Because Larian Studios wouldn't be what it is without Immanuel Kant. They wouldn't be what they are without Immanuel Kant. So it's like the origin of the problem. So yeah, no, I have to go with Immanuel Kant. I have to go with Immanuel Kant 100%. The Prussian desecrator of humanity, without a doubt, in that sense. No. In that sense, no. But Larian Studios is like the incarnation of Immanuel Kant in the modern age in gaming, in the gaming landscape, pretty much. They are also Shields who bought the Game Awards staff and etc. And it's absolutely sad that all of the games that always win prizes, they are all turn-based. See, people, we've created a generation of gamers who have no skill. They need turn-based games. They need slow, relaxed options to roleplay or whatever, which is fine. If they deserved it. Yeah, low quality rage, mate. Even if you believe it, which I don't doubt it. I don't know in which year. Now Claire Obscure didn't. Well. That surprised me. That's more than most people. When are you gonna play a game past 2017? I had to play one. I had to play some past 2017. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I of course modded the protagonist because I didn't like him, so I play with Darth Malgus. Because he walks as if he was cheating all the time. So at least with the Darth Malgus mod, it has a cape, and you don't see as he walks like cheating as he walks. Past 20, Immortals Phoenix Rising. I wanted to play Immortals Phoenix Rising. I presume remakes don't count for you. I have a lot of remakes to replay. Past 2017, I had some more. No, I have some. See, yeah, I have. Besides collections and remakes, like brand new, I have some. Yeah, I wanted to play the God of War 4, which was another prostitution, but the first one seems decent. That one is from 2018. Of course, another prostitution of the original God of War saga, of the original hack and slash, another beleaguered genre, hack and slash genre, another beleaguered genre, another beleaguered genre. People, as you can see, yes. Besides
Why,
knowing a
are
lot
you
about
still here?
philosophy,
You are going
English,
to require ample
um,
preparation
law, and
if you want to
etc.,
move
I
about
also know about the
Borderland
history of
freely.
video games. Precisely. I get very passionate about those topics. Getting
A
very
Sith
passionate
Lord,
about them.
skulking about a Republic planet,
And what
facing
Larian
off
Studios
against
did is they
Mandalorian
shouldn't have
raiders.
touched the real-time with
I
post
see.
combat of Baldur's Gate
You'll need
2
someone to
as it
help you
was left
work
back in the
without
day.
drawing attention.
But it's not
Unless you
just that,
want
Pillow.
the
The
entirety of the
um, the
Republic military
producer
to
is called
converge
David
on your
Walgrave,
position.
and
Let me
he
guess, you
insulted
know
us, the
just the
original
person.
player base, saying
Unfortunately
that
for
real
you,
time with
the
pause
best person
was
for
an
the job is
outdated,
Gizmo
archaic
Gam,
system.
a
That is what I
lowlife in
cannot
an
forgive
insignificant
them for.
political office
Not only
based out of a
prostituting it, but
rubbish
also
heap called
insulting the original player
Kissen's
base.
Landing. I won't say how I know, but I can assure you Gizmo will be more than agreeable to collaborating with the Empire.
I'll take your word for it.
Because it is a prostitution.
Sounds like you've got what you need.
Because it's
If you've got
archaic.
it from
Okay, okay,
here,
okay,
I
okay,
need to get moving.
okay. It's
Really seems
not.
like so
Have you
impatient.
played it?
Get
I
back
did
to
play
duty.
the system of
Tell him
Baldur's
you've got
Gate
this under
3.
control.
I was going to mention to you. I beat Divinity Original Sin 1, every single side quest. Every single side quest on Commander difficult, on the highest difficulty first run. I did play the system that Larian proposed as modern, and it doesn't have the APM requirement of Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 because you can pause. The strategic resources are much more limited. The fact that the terrain with the action points gives you infinite time with the turn-based system to think what to do, how your strategy is going to develop. All of that gives just a lot of objective benefits to the player when it comes down to having time to make its decisions. The final enemy in Siege of Dragonspear, in a modern expansion of Baldur's Gate that they released with the enhanced edition, 2015, the Siege of Dragonspear, the final demon, you have no room of maneuvering. The final boss of Baldur's Gate 2, pretty much, I don't remember the crazy name that it had, the main villain, but when I did it on the highest difficulty first run, I barely had any seconds to think about what to do. And let's not even talk about the Harvester in Dragon Age Origins, the Awakening expansion. Let's not even talk about the Harvester, the legendary Harvester. Anyone who is watching is probably Googling the Harvester boss fight, because nothing that I can say about the Harvester can convey the excellence that that boss fight is. The math is perfectly calculated, so you end up with 1 HP. No matter your group composition, no matter how much you level up, no matter how much, if you beat it like I did after one whole day of trying, eh, like 8 hours straight, nothing comes close to the. But imagine if they released a harvester nowadays, people would complain that they cannot finish the game. That they cannot finish the game because the harvester simply would kick the asses of 90% of the people who attempted to beat him. Straight up. Straight up. Okay, so this is the famous Kesan's landing, people. We'll leave it here as I have to go and have dinner as I watch the incidents outside as the police shoots the rubber banding bullets. My name would be there at least 20. Imagine they release the Epstein files. My name would be there at least 20. No, what does that have to do with Larian Studios, Pilu? You're just changing the subject. At least Melee wasn't in the Epstein files for anyone watching. That's not true. My president wasn't in those. Not at all. In that, why would you say that your name would be there, Pillow? Well, if they are prostitutes, okay, okay, no, no, because of you working as a lawyer to defend them and those things, they are in Poland. No, no, I get what you say. Yeah, it would be mentioned because of that. It's probably good. This is my favorite phrase you've ever said. Epstein probably had Baldur's Gate 3 in his island. No, no, no. I approve that phrase. We have to commend Pillow, Patrick, District, if you are watching there from the Discord as well, we have to commend you, Pillow, for it. For it. That's the phrase of the year so far. And I will remember it. Epstein probably had Baldur's Gate 3 in his island. Definitely. Definitely. No one would deny that shit. No one would deny that shit. No one would deny that shit. Even if the years don't match and and the game wasn't invented. We could say, I don't know, Divinity Original Sin 1 instead would be the same case, but it's just that Baldur's Gate 3 is like the culmination of all of the gameplay mistakes of Divinity Original Sin 2 and and 1, all combined with wokeness added on top of it, like salt and a sauce, like doing a weird I remember that this game, Baldur's Gate 3, was famous originally because all of the news outlets said that you can have sex with a bear. So imagine if that's the presentation of the game, if that's going to be the reason why most people are going to buy it, eh, it's such a combination of degeneracy after degeneracy that it's just endless. It's just fucking endless. The degeneracy of Baldur's Gate 3. I didn't know that. Yeah, no, it was famous because of that. And I played it twice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can have. It was famous because people could have sex with a shape shifting bear druid or something like that. You can have sex with. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's a shape shifting bear. It's a shape shifting bear or something like that. I don't know if it was then included in the final game. It was in the news as they were about to release it, and I remember saying it is a piece of shit, pretty much. Then, no, wait. The other thing. Why would you say that Baldur's Gate 3 deserved the Game of the Year award, but not Clair Obscure, if they are basically pretty similar concepts? One is a Japanese RPG instead in terms of its gameplay mechanics, and Baldur's Gate 3 is more of a Western one, but still turn-based. Why would you say that Clair Obscure doesn't deserve it, or didn't deserve it last time, but yes, Baldur's Gate 3? That one is an interesting argument that I would like to hear. Because Claire got 12 awards and Baldur's Gate 3 got 4. And why would it be that Baldur's Gate? Well, it's what happens with wokeness. People meritocracy goes to shit. Why would you say that Claire Obscure didn't deserve it? Just because of the number of awards. It's a numeric problem. We'll leave it here at Kesan's Landing. Let me go back to my palace. So because of the number of awards that they got, because of the number of awards that they got, I don't know. But why is it? Why would you say it's a worse game? It's a worth problem. Okay, elaborate, please. How is it a worth problem? What does one have that the other one doesn't have? I see both of them as shit, by the way, people, in case you are asking me. I see both of them as complete utter garbage. But I want to see what would be the difference between those two. I could go on and on about how David Brevik took a lot of time to finally develop real-time combat and etc., and how the complexity of the APM requirement is higher in real-time combat, and how this is going backwards due to a sad lack of capability of our modern audiences of dealing with complex games that demand a lot of reflexes and etc. and the harvester and blah blah. But I want to see what would be the difference between those two. What would be the difference between those two? in that sense. Look up clear gameplay. No. I watched the gameplay. I don't watch the gameplay of those. I do watch the gameplay of those. But I know it's turn-based, like Persona, like a Japanese RPG. By the way, this is my palace pillow. I did it myself. It's a JRPG, is shit. I agree with that statement. JRPGs, except for Pokemon, are shit because they lack abstract complexity. I do agree with that statement. I do agree with that statement. I do agree with that statement. I do agree with that, of course. They lack abstract complexity except for Pokemon. Except for Pokemon. Pokemon would be the only JRPG that I can tolerate. I agree with that statement. That JRPGs in general are shit because they lack the abstract complexity of Western RPGs in a lot of cases. True. True. Okay, well then I can picture why you would think that. I can picture why you would think that. Yeah. I agree with that one. Yeah. I agree that JRPGs, except for Pokemon, are shit. Except for Pokemon. Because they lack that abstract complexity. When you say attack, defend, etc., it's just a simplification of a model that Dungeons and Dragons, I think, improved upon massively to a point that is going back to a truly archaic system in that sense. But Baldur's Gate 1 was much more complex and definitely wasn't like that in that sense. In that sense, it wasn't like that. So, pretty much in that sense. Yeah. Oh well. In the case of Baldur's Gate 3, remember people, Larian Studios are responsible for all of the original sins of humanity. They took the sacred apple from like Adam and Eve originally. They are the perpetrators of the original sin. Precisely, it's called Divinity Original Sin. It couldn't be any other way. So there you have proof. They prostituted a huge portion of the gaming industry. With Baldur's Gate 3. All of my friends like Baldur's Gate 3. I am the only person I know that has this despise that I despise Baldur's Gate 3. Pretty much because I have a long record of experience in the gaming industry and I know everything around it until its release. I pretty much said it. I played Divinity Original Sin 1 on the highest difficulty. I beat it. Every single side quest. It's not that I'm talking from inexperience at all. I beat a much harder game with the same system. People play those games to roleplay. Usually this isn't correct, but when it's not even political. No. I know you disagree, Pedro, and you are with 99% of people liking that game. But the truth is that most people who like it didn't play Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. When 5 people tell you you might be wrong, maybe yes, maybe no. Yeah, but I follow empirical evidence. Like Thomas Aquinas, who you say was fat. But he was right. Empirical evidence and objective reality. There can be 100 people in a room. You are wrong, maybe you're wrong. Or maybe not. I was going to say that. If you have 100 people in a room, it can perfectly happen that one person is right and the other 99 are wrong. It can perfectly happen. And we need to accept it as a society, like it was in medieval times. It can perfectly happen. I understand why people like it. Thomas would casually play the game and say, well, no, he wouldn't. He would start analyzing it. Pillow, objective empirical evidence. Did you beat, because this is the key, every person who likes Baldur's Gate 3, didn't beat and play Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 and Dragon Age Origins, especially the Harvester final boss on the all on the highest difficulty previously. That is the problem. That not a single person who likes Baldur's Gate 3 played Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 and Dragon Age Origins on the highest difficulty, and they could beat the Harvester and the other ones. Then there they would have the empirical evidence required to reach the level of judgment that I'm doing. Okay? So that's why one person can be right with other 99 in the room wrong. Because of empirical evidence. Empirical evidence. I did play them, I did beat them, and I did beat the system of Baldur's Gate 3 in Divinity Original Sin 1. I played both systems. And I can objectively establish a comparison. It's like that. Pretty much like that. It's perfectly fine if people like it, but if anyone ever asks me, my perception of objective metaphysical reality is going to be that. That is one of the greatest prostitutions of the gaming industry. That if I were Belgian, I would honestly feel bad about being the same nationality of the people, just as I feel bad about being Argentinian with a lot of other things. I would feel really bad about the people who prostituted such legendary legacy. Tell me I'm not right. It's not about that. It's that the perception of objective metaphysical reality requires the empirical evidence of playing those games before. It's just that I don't want to disappoint. No, it's just that objectively you need to play the other games. I know I've told it that they are not right to a lot of people who defended it, real friends and etc. But my girl buys all her sex stuff from either Brazil or Argentina. That couldn't be. That is not true because of the import taxes that she would need to pay. Would be outrageous only because of the objective distance. Only due to the objective distance, that would be a lot. Besides, it is, however, no. Are they expensive? Are they expensive? They must be brutally expensive to import something all the way from Antarctica to to Poland just for a sex toy. It would be the best quality. Well, it's not something that I would be proud of. Definitely, it's something that I wouldn't be. I would feel terrible. I feel terribly bad. Where if that was the true, or if it is the true, I would feel terribly bad. Generally, it's either South American or Chinese. Well, but not Argentine necessarily. I don't think we export that shit. If I tried Baldur's Gate 2, no, the first one, would you try Baldur's Gate 3? No. I mean, Baldur's Gate 3. In the case of playing a game, okay, Baldur's Gate 1. In the case of playing a game, if people subscribe to the channel, I am willing to review it. Then, don't complain. You have no. In the game, I would play just. I would start. I would then see. This is the problem, people. When I accept reviews, there's a disclaimer. If I start criticizing and shitting on it, then don't complain. If you ask for a review and sub for me to review it and etc., I review it. I can talk about the prostitution of Baldur's Gate 3 endlessly, every single aspect. Then don't complain that I'm criticizing your beloved game. Then I only ask people to not be immature if I start shitting on the game. Is the condition. If people sub, I review games as they choose them. But then people need to be mature if I criticize it, okay? And I will of course play, okay, and I wouldn't play it with sex, all of that crazy shit. I would get to a professional review. I agree to the condition of the gameplay mechanics. I will not do the stupid role play or anything like that. I will play the gameplay mechanics and review the gameplay mechanics. Like that. I would start shitting on the game and people would hate me for it, and it's perfectly fine, but respect my perception just like I respect others. In that sense, it would be the only thing that I would demand. If people subscribe, yeah, Baldur's Gate 3, I don't see why I wouldn't play. I have no problem. If I beat Divinity Original Sin 1 uh, on the highest difficulty. Also, don't complain if I start killing anyone who does a an unnatural sex option. If it's a fantasy world and everyone can do fantasy things and etc., don't complain if I start killing companions and characters, eh? Why would I? Well, don't. That's a legitimate way to play. Okay. As other people enjoy having sex with the bear, I will maybe enjoy killing everyone. There's a blood god. There's a blood god. You would associate me with a blood god in that sense. In that sense, yeah, no, it's not like the mod of the other game that you said that there were a lot of pony. What was it? Of rainbow ponies as they attacked Europe, and it was a simulation of World War II with Hearts of Iron or whatever. In that sense, yeah. And he gives you buffs for being an asshole. It's not being an asshole doing those things. I am I am I am one of the most, if not the most courteous person on humanity. People, I am the most courteous person in all of humanity, pretty much. If I'm not the most, I will leave the benefit of that. I'm among top 1,000, I guess. You want me to be generous? 1,000. I'm among the most courteous. I'm a sir. I am a gentleman, people. And just like the British and the Spaniards brought civilization to the Americas, I would bring it to the game. And not being a savage for the blood god. Anyone, I would first ask the fantasy world, that since it's a fantasy, as they like saying on the other side, and they like having sex with bears, I will say the same, that it's a fantasy, using the same excuse, and maybe I get to start killing all rioters and criminals, like the ones that looted New York several times under the Biden administration and etc. And I see that they are doing pre-revolutionary maneuvers. You are free to kill the hippie druid. I don't know which one it is, but well, I remember it from 2017, really neat. I don't know when it was released. The hippie druid. No, not hippie druid. I would start killing relativism in general, I guess, since it's a fantasy. I would start killing anything that resembles relativism in in the name of the good legacy of the Roman Empire. I don't know. I don't know if it's a fantasy. If it's a fantasy, as you all like having the sex with the bear. Sorry, I would do that. So well, pretty much. But people would need to subscribe for that to happen, and I am quite comfortable with this. So since none of those things are happening, I will go back to my condo management studies to keep the legacy of my family alive, that I already get like a million times more money for that, and call it a day. No, the one I was also thinking about doing, Pillow, is well about playing Total War. It's about playing Total War. Uh, he was happy about the guild chat there. So playing Total War as Rome and conquering all of the world. But yeah, I've already done it several times, so maybe I will pick another starting position. Okay, people. Okay, people. It's been my utmost pleasure sharing this afternoon, this Thursday afternoon. Ah, you didn't tell me about the Dungeons and Dragons campaign, Pillow. Then next time we can do it. I have to go have dinner. I'm really hungry, but next time you can tell me about how your Dungeons and Dragons campaign went over over your winter. In my case, it's the summer. Okay, so thank you from the bottom of my heart, Pillow, for visiting. Okay, right. Thanks from the bottom of my heart. Quite good conversations. Thanks to you, Patrick, for visiting me always at the beginning of the stream. To you, District, for telling me about the spammer over at the Discord. To you, Flying Energy, for visiting. To Ambra um, over at University for keeping me updated on all of your adventures there in was it Krelowek, there in the German border of Poland, precisely same as Pillow here. So pretty much thanks to the five of you for visiting me. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the new YouTube subscribers. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And see you all next week that we will resume probably Van Helsing and Star Wars Republic on Thursdays now that I have Pilgrim's Retreat unlocked. Then I need to read all of the YouTube subscriptions. We got a lot. We finally got over the 100 mark. We are 101. So thank you from the bottom of my heart and see you all in the next one, people. I love you all. Hope you have a great weekend. As I see now the protests and the rubber bullets, I'll get to see the spectacle, people. Hopefully the bill passes and companies can invest. Bye bye, people. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.